talking about polarity and duality and breaking that down.
And guys, you need to know that we have to use our feminine energy when it is needed
Yeah.
to balance out our girls' masculine energy.
Why isn't she feminine? Like, what are you not showing up and doing, you know?
Yeah.
Sent me back and I want to cry right now.
And I used to say the same thing. Like, I used to be on benders, like on day 3, and be like, fuck, bro, Max is fucking crazy. She's blowing my phone up. But it's like, bro, I've made her like that, you know?
Welcome to our living room, everybody. I'm back with my feet on the couch, but trust me, there's so much shit on this couch from our toddlers that I don't want the couch on my shoes.
Yeah, hard out.
Welcome back to the Ether Revolution. We're here with episode 7.
Shit, getting up there.
Yep. We are starting a masculine feminine series because it's such a huge topic. We thought let's just cover it over a few episodes.
Yeah, hard out. And it's real important, I reckon. It's really what made us work better.
Yeah, it did. Once we understood masculine and feminine, our relationship just went to the next level of understanding, communication, everything.
Playing roles, really.
Role play.
But, you know, just knowing what you should be doing as a man and what you should be doing as a female, it really eliminates heaps of arguments and little petty things that most couples would get into. Yeah,
it definitely does. Because you know what your role is in a relationship and it takes away those little arguments like, why haven't you done this? Why haven't you done that? Because you know what your responsibilities are and that's on you if you can't meet them.
Yeah,
you can't blame them on someone else.
Yeah, definitely. Like a masculine role would be to like take the rubbish out.
Yeah.
And that's what a guy should do. And you can't come home and see the rubbish and get angry at your partner because you know that's your role and you should be doing that.
Or if I get angry at you for not doing the rubbish, you can't be like, oh, she's angry at me, like, because you know that that's your own fault, your mistake.
Yeah, hard out.
We're going to start with talking about polarity and duality and breaking that down. Basically, like, what is masculine and feminine?
Yeah, and what is like duality and polarity as well. So polarity is basically like the poles, like north and south. Polarity, same thing, opposites.
So it's opposite spectrums of the pole.
Yeah.
So light, dark, yin and yang.
Yeah.
So without one, there is not the other. So up can't know down without up.
Yeah.
Light can't know dark without light.
Yeah. So that's just saying as well that like masculine isn't more powerful than feminine or feminine isn't more powerful than masculine. It has to work evenly. It has to be balanced.
Yeah, they're just different to each other. Not one is less, not one is greater.
Yeah, hard out.
And duality.
What's duality?
Duality is the balance of both. So if you imagine the pole and right bang in the middle is the balance of both of those. And too much of one can be harmful. So you want a good balance. So an example of duality is we can just look at ourselves and what is the example that we have internally. So everyone has a percentage of femininity and everyone has a percentage of masculinity. So for women, we obviously have more femininity in us and men have more masculine. So we're around about 80-20.
Yeah.
So I would have 80% feminine energy in me and 20% masculine. Everyone's got it. And then you would have 80% masculine energy and 20% feminine energy.
Yeah.
So you need a bit of both. Everyone needs a bit of both in them.
Yeah, just like some examples as well of like guys having feminine energy could be like being kind or like being soft when you need to.
Yeah.
Like if your partner is like a firecracker, like angry all the time, or not angry all the time, but just goes angry at a situation and you try and match that with masculine energy, that's masculine and masculine like butting heads. But if you like take a step back and like approach her softly and use your feminine energy, then it can like de-escalate the situation.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so like that's just a way of like how men could use their feminine energy, because I know some men will be like, there's no way I got feminine energy in me, I'm a tough cunt, but like we all do, we all have it in us.
It's basic science, sorry guys.
Yeah And like, yeah, to some feminine energies are just ones we need. Like, yeah, like being sensitive when we can, even to your mates, like talking to your mates about your feelings and stuff. That's a feminine energy, but we need it like as masculine.
And just remember, one doesn't exist without the other, and you need it.
Yeah.
For women, when we're tapping into masculinity, it can be like, say, the man isn't in the household at the time and we have to make decisions for the kids, or we have to make decisions like that can be a little bit hard on the kids, or, you know, we have to be like that hard figure when dad's like out of town, or like, you know, just not in the house at the time. We have to be able to tap into that. And sometimes I have to tap into that if you're like, you know, at breaking point with something and I need to be a little bit strong in a situation, you know, if you can't handle something.
Yeah. Sometimes your girl would be acting all too aggressive to you all the time, and that's just because you're lacking in your masculine side as well.
Yeah.
And they take on the role of being the masculine as well around the house. Like if I never did the rubbish or like never did anything like that, she would be storming around the house like, get out the way, like grabbing the rubbish bags and like doing the rubbish and just giving me the wrong energy. But that's because I'm not doing my masculine side.
Yeah.
So that's, you
I
got to take a
totally
step back.
agree.
You got to take a step back as well and like realize like when you're not pulling your weight and why your missus is acting that way.
And as well, if you've been through, like, this was hard for me to get into my feminine energy for a long time because Tim had left me on the limb for so long in our relationship, not turned up, you know, out partying, and just like zero contact, would disappear for days on end. So a lot of the time I did have to be the feminine and the masculine in the relationship and in the family. And so I was so used to like being the decision maker, just getting shit done, making things happen for my family. I had to do that for ages. And so he had to be really patient with me as I was getting back into my feminine energy. And it took me a long time because I just was living in that constant state of fear of like, this guy's just going to disappear and do it again. You know, like I have to like carry my family in all aspects. And I still do struggle a lot with letting go of control. Like I can still be like quite controlling in the relationship because again, like I've had to do that. And like, although it wasn't for that long, maybe like 3 or 4 years, the amount of energy that you use doing that, it takes so long to snap out of it.
Yeah,
like
hard
so
out.
long.
Yeah.
So you can't be like mad that like, oh, well, my missus just isn't feminine. Well, like, why isn't she feminine? Like, what are you not showing up and doing, you know?
Yeah. And we're not saying like it's okay as well. Like I know there's some guys out there that like to get looked after their girlfriend. I don't know how to explain it, but like they portray more feminine traits, but they're still attracted to girls. And then that's how you end up attracting like a woman that's like independent and like wants to nurture you and look after the like bills for the house and all that stuff, you know. But you've got to realize that she's got more masculine in relationships, so you got to take on the other stuff of the house, and that's okay as well. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's okay. You're always gonna attract your opposite. It's opposites attract.
Yeah, yeah. And you can learn to like change that as well. Like if females keep getting into the same relationship with the same sort of like type of guy all the time, like you're never gonna get a different result. You're always gonna get the same guy just with a different name.
Yeah.
So if you like change how you portray yourself and like act more feminine and like actually look after yourself and your surroundings and your house and your car and like all that stuff, then you attract the right guy that will come and fill that space. But yeah, and also like if you have like attracted like a lady that's like dominant and you're like with her, like deep down she actually knows that you're like you're the masculine energy. Like if you're at your house at night and she was on that pays the bills and stuff, and you're at the house at night and you guys hear a noise, like she's not going to get up and like, if she hears someone in the house, she's not going to get up and run out there and try and fight them. She's going to wake you up to go do that.
Yeah.
Because she knows deep down that you are the masculine.
Yeah. You're the protector.
Yeah, you're the protector.
So that brings us to
And
like,
if you don't get up, that means you're actually a bitch.
So I guess we can talk about some of the traits then on the polarities.
Yeah.
So masculine.
Yeah, so like a masculine energy would be protector, provider, educator, confident, logical, and just makes everyone feel safe. Like makes his like family feel safe.
Yeah, when I think of my masculine, I think of safety and a protector.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's talk about some of those then. Like, protector. Like, I would definitely want to feel like my man can protect myself and my family.
Yeah, definitely.
And provider. Like, I definitely want my man to be able to provide for the family. Like, obviously, a man can't have time off and have a baby and be pregnant and breastfeed.
Oh, what? I've seen some other.
Oh, God. And educator.
Yep.
Definitely, like you've embraced that like tenfold the last year.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you've taught us so much. Like the man should be out learning and come into the home and teach the wife, teach the feminine, and then the feminine teaches the children. You know, so like the man will bring the thought into the home and then the woman will nurture that thought and bring that thought into reality
Yeah.
and like shed that onto the children.
Yeah, definitely just going back on that, like, provider. Like, you should want to work your hardest at whatever, or even just figure out ways to make money to provide for your family. That should be your number one cause. Nothing else first.
Yeah, like multiple incomes.
Yeah, just trying to be the best you can for your family, really. Just so you can be, like, secure.
Is that what you think about like at work when you're working hard?
Yeah, when that's what I think about. I'm just like, I'm going to get us to another level. And
Yeah.
that's why I try to start all these other businesses and, like, all these ideas. It all stems from me trying to get our family into a better place and just trying to create, like, generational wealth.
Yeah,
That's the main goal anyway.
totally.
And then I can have more time with my kids as well. Because, like, eventually I don't want to work at all, like, physically. I can just work. Passive incomes.
Yeah.
Even being confident as well. Like, all you men should be, like, the masculine energy in the relationship, needs to be confident. You need to, like, hold yourself in a high ranking. And that's when discipline comes in as well. Because if you're just feeling like shit, eating shit, and not disciplined with anything, then the confidence falls back onto your family, and then your missus notices it, and then that's when she starts being more masculine in the relationship.
Totally. If you're not confident, I feel like I have to step up in the masculine side and like look after us more.
Yeah, because confidence brings in, like, security as well for your family.
Yeah.
Like, they want to feel safe.
I think another huge thing in masculinity that has to come from a really healthy place, like I know this word can be very scary, but is dominance.
Ooh.
Healthy, healed dominance.
Mm.
So we're not talking about like narcissistic type of dominance. We're talking about healthy dominance where like I can be submissive to him in a healthy way. So if he like he's the decision maker, if he says something's not right for our family in this moment, I like will trust him. You know, that is his word.
Yeah.
Basically. And I will trust his word because, you know, he's my masculine and he's just got the knowledge.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
that
know
but
how to
that takes
explain
time
that
as
really
well.
well.
Yeah, that takes time as well though, like to make the right decisions. But just realize that you will make, like, bad decisions as well.
Yeah.
And you just got to work through it.
Yeah, totally.
But as long as you're feminine, just allows you to keep trusting you. Eventually, you just start making the right decisions for the family.
All right, so feminine traits, nurturing, kind, soft, loving, trusting.
Yeah, I think a main one for me, like, that a feminine needs to show is nurturing. She's the first girl I've been with that shows the nurturing side. That means, like, actually takes care of the house and, like, takes care of the kids and me and, like, cooks food and just has everything on lock without me really asking about anything. I think most females will be lacking that in this day and age because they just won't be taught it, I guess.
Well, do you know what it is though? It's that since like the mid 2000s, we've been hit with this really intense feminist narrative. Like women should be independent. I don't need no man. And that's honestly, it's setting you up for failure. And I'm not saying that you have to have that. I'm just saying it works. It works really well to be, like we said, it's science, having masculine and feminine and working as a team. Like it just works. So it's not so much that like girls aren't pulling their weight these days. It's they're getting these mixed messages and narratives being told, like, it's such a heavy presence on social media about you don't need a man, and like men are fucking assholes and narcissists and all this shit. But honestly, are those women happy? Because they're not. They're so angry. They're so living in their masculine. They, like, you know, their energy that they give through when they're talking, you're just like, whoa, like, are you okay?
Yeah.
You know, like, you're so angry. And I'm not saying like this is the way again. I don't think feminism is like the way either. I think like you need to try everything. And when it comes down to science, honestly, yeah, fuck everything I just said. This works. This is the way.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
No, yeah. But and like when we're talking about masculine and feminine as well, it doesn't have to be like girl boy. Like we're just talking about in a
It's
relationship.
just the same as
in a
gay
relationship,
couples.
yeah.
You're always going to have more feminine one, more masculine one.
Yeah. We're
as
just talking about in a relationship that
Yeah.
you can have.
I think
you
the
gotta
only
have one
thing we
more.
won't ever touch on is like genders, because
That don't make sense.
it doesn't. I don't.
Yeah,
The end.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that girls, they've got these mixed messages from feminism, but I think it's time to like start leaning into that, because again, for the 100th time, you're going to attract what you want being on that energy. And so if you're in your feminine, you're going to get men that are in their masculine. And that's what you want for a good, healthy, long-term relationship.
Yeah. Being trusting as well.
Yeah.
I think it's another trait for like a masculine to they have to trust their feminine.
Yeah.
But yeah, explain it. Talk about it.
I don't know. It's more me trusting of you. Like, you have the confidence and I trust your confidence.
Yeah.
I trust your word. Like, if you want to make a big decision for our family, I trust you on that. Even if, like, there's part of me that, I don't know. But then at the same time, a big thing of feminine energy is intuition. Being really in touch with your intuition. So there are sometimes that I've wanted to trust his decision making, but I have been really in touch with my intuition and gone, babe, I don't know, like, consider this or consider that. Like, I don't know if I feel great on this. And then, yeah, you do end up trusting me.
Yeah, that took us a while to learn all that stuff as well. Like doing the like decision making and then like failing. But when before that she's been like, babe, do this, and I'd be like, nah, and just like trust my word and trust what I think goes right. And then it goes how she said. So then next time something happens, you guys can talk about it.
Yeah, he will more take on.
And then you
my
realize that
opinion as
girls
well.
actually have like intuition, like they actually are in touch with like everything.
Yeah, and that's like the part of masculine is like logical. Like, he might look at something with all the logistics, but I'm going to look at it with emotion. So that, again, balances it out. So he needs my like emotional opinion because he's looking at something super logical.
Yeah, definitely. And it's definitely worked for us. The shit works, man. I'm telling you guys. Well, you visit out, man.
And I bet some of our friends are probably thinking like, you guys are not like, you know, we've been through the shit. But this is so like, we've only been working on this for probably when we were away in the South Island. So since
like this time last year.
December. No.
Yeah.
Oh no, because we made that video when we were in South Island.
Oh yeah. So it was like December.
No.
January.
No, we made that video of how we'd been working on this for the last like 4 months.
Oh yeah.
So it was around this time. So it's been about a year since we've implied this, like, in our home, in our relationship.
And we're still learning about it as well.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a massive topic. That's why we are doing a series on it, because it's like, fuck, it's hectic.
It is. There's so much that goes into it.
But yeah, it's definitely makes a relationship more enjoyable, I reckon.
Yeah.
Because you guys know your roles, you know what you should be doing.
Yeah.
And you know what you don't have to do as well. Like, I'm just happy that I don't have to do any washing. You know, you just know. Like, there's no guessing game. You're not like...
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you come home and you do your things, like, you can actually, like, relax, because he's not going to be like, fuck, Evan, fucking go do the washing, or, like, can you go do this? Because it's like, that's not my job.
Like, just having, like, roles.
Even roles,
in the relationship.
Hard
like,
out. Like, your night, my night, your night, my night. Like,
yeah, like, you
that.
get up to the baby, or, like...
Yeah.
you vacuum this week, or, you know, and then you're arguing about, I was last week. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
No, fuck
it's
that
just,
shit.
but that's the thing. Like, I don't want to go out there and leave my children and work all day.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I want to bring my children up,
Yeah, hard out.
you know, like, and like a man can do that. But when you're really at those early stages, like a man can't really do that, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
So should we talk about communication with using the masculine and feminine, like what is kind of expected from each other
Yeah.
in communication? Because communication, they say, is key for a healthy, good relationship.
So that's just like laying down like what the other person should be doing really and talking about it. Like
Yeah.
don't go silent on it. Because there's sometimes I forget shit that I need to do that needs to be done. And she'll be like, babe, like, can you go remember to do this? I'm like, oh yeah, fuck, that's right. Instead of like fully forgetting, and then she might know, and then like by the time it's time to do it, she'd be like, oh, did you do the thing? But the whole time she would have known, and then it would cause a little argument where I'd be like, fuck, I forgot.
Yeah.
So like that's where communication would come in as well for me.
Yeah, but like when it comes to the way, I think we touched on it briefly before, but the way that we communicate towards each other in situations, like what does my feminine need in this situation? How do I talk to her in this situation? Like how you said, if I'm like, you know, seeing red and I'm like yelling or something,
Yeah.
you can't come to me yelling. You have to approach me softly.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, if say your love language is physical touch, like he could know to like rub my back or like, you know, talk to me like a bit softer. For you, I know like a lot of the time you won't need words. Sometimes you just need to like feel me there, or, you know, talk to you really softly. But I also think that it's really important for men to be receiving compliments. Like as women, we're constantly doing things that we're like fishing for compliments from our
Fucking
men.
all the time.
Like I'll do like one gym session and be like, babe, has my booty grown? Like tell me my
Honestly.
booty's grown, or like, you know, do I look good in this dress or whatever? Like just as much as we want that, guys want that too. They really do.
Yeah, especially Leos.
Yeah, especially Leos. And also you love words of affirmations in your like love language as well. So, but I think men need this anyway. So like with Tim, for instance, he'll be training for a fight or whatever, and I'll like take the time to like sit down and watch his sparring with him and like be like, holy shit, like your jab's gotten fast, or like, you know, or even like I'll catch him like looking in the mirror with no shirt on, and I'll be like, babe, you're looking so good, like, you know, because it just builds them up. Like they need to be built up so much.
Yeah, hard out.
They're so used to like us wanting all the compliments and stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I reckon females do need to be noticing that about their partners, because sometimes they just need that for their day as well, or like their week.
Yeah.
Like it can just set them in a good mood, and then, you know, it could change the way they eat, because their partner's been like, well, you're looking good. So then that week they'll just change the way they eat, way they act, come home with a whole new energy, treat you different.
And also complimenting men on things that you want them to be. Like I'll often say to Tim, like, you're such a good dad. Like you're the most amazing, patient, fun dad. Like because I want him to be that. I'm complimenting on him on that, and he wants to do that more, you know?
Yeah.
It's just the same as like remembering when you were a kid and your parents yelling at you for something. Like that doesn't like clean your fucking room or like blah, blah. And it doesn't make you want to clean your room.
Nah.
You know,
No
it
way.
makes you want to do the opposite. So like approaching it in a way like you're already doing that, and I see you, like I see that you're doing this and I appreciate it, or like, you know, or like, thank you so much. I haven't asked you for the last few weeks to like take out the rubbish. You're automatically doing these things, and I just see that you're improving on it, and I'm really grateful.
Yeah.
So like communication isn't just about being able to like dissect a argument. It's about like words of affirmations towards your partner and appreciating them and like letting them know that you see the good that they're doing.
And also with that like yelling thing, like if your partner does yell at you and then you gotta be like the feminine there. But if it happens all the time, like you're gonna have to like talk to her properly and just be like, fuck, you're being in your masculine way too much, like, and it's making me, and I'm trying to do like feminine to balance it out. But if you do it too much, you end up just going back to your natural ways and just start yelling at them and just clashing heads and then you're not caring.
Literally us this morning.
Yeah. So if you don't talk about it and be like, fuck, you're like just acting too masculine
And
all the
look,
time.
like when you finally spoke to me this morning about it, I cried.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it sent me back and I want to cry right now. Because like it was just like transformative this morning, I feel.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like we were clashing and I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm always like this. I'm an Aries, I'm fiery. And then he's like, no, I've been feeling like over the last month you've been doing this. And I'm like, that broke my heart. I was like, you've been feeling a type of way and not like being vocal about it. Like that breaks my heart because I would, anything that's bugging you, I would work on, you know, because he's worked on so much for me and for the family. Why am I doing this? Libby's going to play that clip now where I'm like, I'm never going to cry on the podcast. But yeah, when he finally was vocal about that, I was like, it shoved me so far into my femininity and made me cry and I became soft. And now I know that's something that has bugged you, but you have to be vocal.
Yeah, you have to talk about it. And that's another fit. Like, men don't really talk about shit. You know, it's hard as to talk about stuff. And that's like a feminine trait that we got to like use sometimes to level up our masculine energy.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's hard to talk about it. Sometimes I'd rather just yell back at her, like, and then just walk off and be like, fuck it. And then you just go do your own thing.
Yeah.
But if you talk about it, it's all good.
Because there are like, obviously I don't want to ever change who I am. And I am, like I said, I'm an Aries, I'm fiery, but I need to use that in the right places and in the right terms, you know, not in the way that I'm replying to Tim when he's just asking me calmly a simple question and I'm going back, you know. I think I need to keep it as like fun, like when we're joking around and like, you know.
Yeah, hard out. Because then eventually, like, yeah, if you don't talk about it, like eventually you just kind of don't want to like ask them certain questions, you know.
Yeah.
So it is good to talk about shit like that.
Totally.
In a relationship. But yeah, because guys control the temperature in a relationship. Like you got to realize that you're the dominant one. Like just going back to that thing, like yeah, guys can control. Like some guys would be like, fuck, my girlfriend's fucking crazy. But like 80% of the time, we would have made them crazy.
Yeah.
Like we would have made them like how they are. They're like molded into the person that you want them to be because you're the guy.
I definitely have some guy friends where they're on like the 4th or 5th crazy girlfriend. And I'm like,
hard out.
I don't know if that's the problem.
Yeah, hard out. And I used to say the same thing. Like I used to be on benders, like on day 3 and be like, fuck, bro, Max is fucking crazy. She's blowing my phone up. But it's like, bro, I've made her like that, you know? So you got to realize as well that like guys do set the temperature in a relationship. You can either make it fucking nuts and crazy, or you can make it nice, calm, cool, and collected.
Another thing I think is good to do for masculine as well is letting your man find and practice his passions, because that makes him a better man, and it also puts him into his masculine more. Because he's saying, this is what I'm going to do. And you're going, okay, go and do that. I support it. And then that's like affirming to him that he is that masculine. Because I think a lot of women have a problem thinking, well, there are no masculine men out there. But a lot of the time we're not allowing them to be masculine. Like if you're a woman constantly going like, oh, you're not going to the gym at this time. I need help with the kids. Or, oh, you're not going for a run now. Like, I need you to do this or that. Like, that's taking him out of his masculine because he's made a decision on something he wants to do to better himself. And you're taking that away.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to like support them in that. Like, I used to go and watch him sparring on a Saturday every Saturday, but that's because it was in a gym where I could take the kids and everything, and I would film all his rounds, and I would like critique him and like yell at him, like, dig deep, come on, final round, 10 seconds, go babe, go. You know, like I'm his biggest cheerleader. And that's what we need to be for guys, I think. And I know there's probably women thinking like, oh, what about me? What about me? I think another huge thing is knowing when it's your time to shine. Like, I know that I've got shit in the works for myself that is gonna pop off. Like, I know that. But right now, Tim's got a couple years left where he can be at his peak in boxing, and I'm letting him have that moment. And this is his time right now. And like, you can't both shine at the same time. You just can't.
Yeah.
And I know when it comes to my time, Tim's going to be there backing me, just like I have backed him through these years of boxing.
Yeah. Hard out. Yeah, I think that's important, like, for girls to let their guys do a passion. Because, like, if you keep getting denied from doing what you want to do, you start losing, like, your masculinity, which is when you start losing your actual freedom. Like, you start feeling like you're caged inside, and, like, you just build up this, like, resentment towards your partner. And because it's happened in the past, and yeah, that's how you lose your freedom. I just feel like it's way better when they do start letting you do that. Even if you guys just test something out, where, like, sit down with your partner and ask him, like, what do you want to do? Like, what do you like doing? What's your passions? How can we get you into that so you can become a better partner at home, or like a better dad or anything like that? Because we need like an outlet. Like, if I go to training all week and I'm like fucking have a mean ass training, I come home and I'm super happy with the kids. I'm like 100% focused on the kids. I'm not doing anything else. But I know, like, if that doesn't happen for some guys, they go to work and then they can't go to the gym, and then they come home, they just got this like built up, like, not an anger, but like this feeling inside of them, and they're not really all there with their family.
Yeah.
They'll like rather just scroll their phone, or like just make up an excuse to do some other random shit, when really they just want to go like train.
Or they just don't turn up.
Yeah. Well, they're just not there, like, mentally.
I think it's so important. Like, you're definitely a better person. Like, I have so many girls say to me, like, how the hell do you do it? Like, you do your 2 toddlers and he gets home when they're already, you know, like fed, bathed and in bed. I'm like, that's just like, it works. Like, I have 2 full days off in the weekend where I don't do anything for the kids. Like, that's just how we roll, and he gives me that time. If what you're doing right now is not working, there's no harm in trying something new. You know, like, if he says, oh, I want to go and train after work, like, do you mind holding it down for a little bit longer at night? Or, you know, let him do that. Like, let him go and do that and see how you go, because I honestly do not struggle. At the start, I did. Like, I don't want to, like, set anyone up where they're like, oh my God, what the fuck, this bitch is superwoman, because I'm struggling. I was struggling at the start because I was used to having him help me. But now I'm like, it's a breeze. Like, the kids and I know what we're doing. Like, we have a solid routine and we stick to it. And yeah, that just works. And like I said, I get 2 days off in the weekend where I don't do anything. I can go off, I can have my full weekend. I can go to the gym, and then I can like
Just do whatever.
I can do whatever I want. I can go to the markets. I can do anything. And then if I do choose, which I often do because I get FOMO, I just want to hang out with my family. I just won't do anything for them. Tim will cover everything.
Yeah.
Every nappy change, every meal, every nap. He'll do it all. So I get a solid 2-day break. And that is so much more beneficial to filling up my cup than it is having
Little odd half an hour.
half an hour help / slowing my routine down.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
I always fuck up the routine as well. Like, there's been some nights where I'd like miss a training at night, and I'll be at home, and like the kids end
will
up going
be
to
in
sleep
bed at like 9,
Yeah.
and I have them in bed asleep by 7:30.
Yeah, every single night they're in bed by 7:30. So it works out well. You just got to try it and just tough it out.
You just have to be really efficient. Again, like going back to our affirmations podcast, I added things into my affirmations I'm productive with my time management and I have time for everything in my day. That is an affirmation I made to be able to be really efficient. Like I literally, from the second that the kids like come home from daycare or just from 4 o'clock onwards, I do not sit down. Like I'm just like dinner. I'm getting all the routines sorted.
Stacking the small wins.
And it's huge. It's like really busy, but it's good and it works. And I get them in bed and asleep, and 7:30 onwards, that's my time.
Yeah. Well, your man could like actually not really want to train. He could like want to go on his computer and like study shit.
Yeah.
Like it's just anything. We're just using training because that's what we do. But
Yeah.
your man could be into anything. He could be into something random like, I don't know, lawn bowls or darts or something. Not that that's random. I'm just saying they could, like, I'm just saying it works for anything, but you got to find the balance.
Yeah.
Your man could need the weekends. Like, he could be like, oh, I'll help you with the kids during the week, but on the weekends, I need to go do the scuba diving. You know?
Okay.
And then you could try and make it work.
So all of this doesn't really apply to either very start of a relationship or anyone that's single. So what single people want to do is dive into their
Energies.
if you're a woman, dive into your feminine energy. If you're a man, dive into your masculine energy. So for women, I would be diving into things like researching how you can get more in touch with your intuition. Because I think a lot of women struggle with that these days, or don't really get that until they become a mum, and then it's kind of like it's a given when you're a mum. You have to be in touch with that kind of stuff to know what cries your babies are doing, or like, when they're hungry, things like that. So, try and get in touch with your intuition more. Become softer. If you feel like you're in your masculine too much, maybe you're doing the wrong workouts. Maybe you want to switch up some of your weightlifting and even it out with some yoga or Pilates. Just softer things on the body. Yeah, if you feel like you're too in your masculine.
Yeah.
Just try and look at the exact opposite to whatever it is that you're doing. That's just if you are too much in your masculine, because you want to be feminine to be able to attract that masculine into your life.
Yeah.
And it's the same in terms of like dating, because you don't want to attract a man that is too in his feminine. For instance, if you're going out for dinner and he asks you to pay half or asks you to pay, like that's a fucking big red flag.
Yeah.
Like if a guy ever asked me on a date and asked me to pay or asked me to go halves, like I would literally vomit my dinner up and say fuck you and block him and probably get a restraining order. That's a huge, huge red flag, okay? Your man needs to show that he can be a provider, okay? And that means he's too into his feminine side. And so what feminine is going to bring into that relationship is like pettiness and, just like nasty kind of like girly vibes. You don't want that from a man.
No
at
way.
all.
Yeah, and that's like going into like masculine. Like, if you're noticing you're just not on and you're not getting like the right girl that you want, and you end up just getting heaps of girl mates, like that means you're too feminine.
Yeah.
You need to like
start boxing and go and get your head punched in.
You need to like, if you're like, what the fuck, why'd I keep getting friend zoned or like shit like that, I think you need to get into more of your masculine side, which means like becoming more confident.
Yeah, confidence is key when you're single.
And that starts from being disciplined. Like you got to start getting into a healthy routine on working on yourself and becoming a stronger person to yourself. And then you will attract the feminine energy that you want.
Totally.
But yeah, definitely gymming. Like gymming helps. Gymming, running.
Yeah.
And working on yourself, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially if you're single and you got time, like you can follow your passions.
It's also giving a woman the idea that you can look after something because you're looking after your body.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to say. Like if you can follow your passions while you're single and start getting a flow on and being like determined and confident on what you want to do, you will attract a female energy to help you out.
And also looking, like for girls, looking out for red flags from the opposite. So like there's the man that wants you to pay half or pay the bill. That's a red flag. But then there's the opposite. There are a lot of unhealed men hiding behind masculinity when they're really like a narcissist. If he's messaging you like 100 times a day,
God.
just because, you know, he's saying, oh, I'm just checking in on you because I want to look after you, like that's a red flag, you know, like you're trying to find those healthy masculine men. So that's a huge red flag as well. So you want something in that balance, in that duality. So you want someone to be a little bit like, hey, I've got you, but you also want someone that's not, hey, I've got you, I'm in your driveway, I'm waiting. Like, you know, you want a good balance.
And that comes from working on yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you have to work on yourself. You can't be like trying to figure out your dream man and being like, okay, I got to do this complete opposite here, and like trying to do that for them.
Yeah.
Do it for yourself.
Yeah.
Everything else will fall into place.
Yeah, totally. Those are like the main things you want. You've got to like look at a man as well, like I don't know. For me, I feel like a good relationship is not like, I think you need to have chemistry, yes. But okay, so I was watching TikTok and Kim Kardashian had this huge list of what she expects to have in a guy. And this is another thing that, just like the feminism thing, that narrative like portrayed on people, like it's the same as having all these like things that you need a guy to be able to meet. Like he doesn't exist. He doesn't exist. Okay.
No.
Like don't have those. Like, no, I'm not putting up with this. It's the fucking worst attitude to have. And it's super masculine. You know, like you want to be like kind and like attract the masculine in your life, not be the masculine.
Yeah.
So like having that big list of things, like I can say from experience, like, and I've told Tim this, like, I wasn't like that keen on Tim. I was like, he's beautiful and we had great chemistry, but like I didn't feel like I didn't want to be with him, you know, like I didn't feel that. But the more like I got to know him and like we just built and built and built. And now I'm like, I can't even look at another man. I can't even like, you know, he's my person and that's it. So what I'm trying to say is like, don't have these lists of what you want a man to get, because like, I think you just need to look at the basics. Like, is he masculine? Can he like, you know, is he going to make me feel safe? And like another important one was, and this is what I thought straight away when I met Tim, like I didn't want kids before I met Tim. And I was like, fuck, he would be the best dad. Like you want to choose someone that's going to be like an amazing dad. And you see so many couples these days that are co-parenting and the co-parenting's not working. Like I knew that if shit went south with us, that we would have a great co-parenting relationship because he's so masculine. He's not petty, you know? Like he would never be like, oh, I'm not going to pay child support because you're going to go and get your nails done or blah, 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 you know, like there would be no pettiness, you know. If we were to split in half everything, there would be no pettiness from him being like, well, I've been the worker, you've just been fucking at home with the kids. Like, well, who the fuck else was going to be at home with the kids?
Yeah, hard out.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that he would never, ever use that. He knows that we turn up evenly in this relationship. We just have different roles. So that, I think, is important. It's just like looking at someone, are they masculine? Are they making me feel safe? And would they be a good baby daddy?
Yeah, girl.
So I guess what you can take away from this is polarities and what they mean. So it's being opposites and opposites attract. Duality, being a good balance, having a bit of both in you. You can't be one without the other.
Yeah.
One doesn't exist without the other.
And guys, you need to know that we have to use our feminine energy when it is needed.
Yeah.
To balance out our girls' masculine energy.
And we've also talked about like traits and stuff. So I think all up, a man should feel like safety. and a woman should feel like home.
Yeah. Sums it up good.
In our next one, we're going to get more into we're not going to do role play, but we're going to talk about like scenarios and how you can approach different types of conflict.
We'll act it out. We'll do some acting, please. I'm excited for the next one. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions or want to know anything about masculine and feminine, comment it on the video and we'll answer it for you.
Yeah, so that brings us to the end of our first episode on the masculine feminine series.
Yep.
And our 7th episode of the Ether Evolution.
Woohoo! Hope
How
you guys
good.
enjoyed it, man.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed it. We can't wait to bring you the next one.
And hopefully next time we got some stands so we don't have to do a little bicep workout.
They're actually so heavy. Okay, thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.
See you guys later.
Peace.